Okay, let's get started. Hi guys, I'm Alina and today I'm going to be showing you some crochet basics. Today I'll teach you how to make a slip knot, a chain, a single crochet, half double crochet, and treble crochet. I'm using US terms, but you can easily convert these to UK terms using a conversion chart that I'll link in the description. I'll also teach you how to make a granny square. Once you make a granny square, you can make all sorts of different things, including hats, bags, even clothes. So let's get into it. Okay, so for today's tutorial, I'm also going to be showing you all the different crochet items or tools that you need, and I'll start with my own little set. I got this set for my birthday 4 years ago, and it has everything that you need. It's pretty compact, and you can even just carry it around or travel with it, which to be honest I haven't done yet, but I would recommend getting something like this because it just keeps everything you need in one place. So let me just show you what I have today. You'll get your different threads, which are all lying here. You'll get some tools with which you can make different things. For example, you can make a pom-pom using something like this, which I've tried to do, but it hasn't really worked out, so I won't speak too much on that. This is the other side of that pom-pom tool. You also get some big knitting needles or darning needles, which you can use to weave in loose ends. These are also needles that I haven't used yet, as you can see, but you can use them to hold stitches or knitting. So if you're making a pattern, you can kind of use this to hold it, I think. But again, I haven't used it, so I'm not entirely sure. These things, they're just a bunch of different tools, and I think you can Google them to see what you can use them for. I haven't had to use them in my craft right now, so I will just show you what they are rather than explain them. You can also get really small miniature sized hooks. The smallest one in this, like just from looking, I don't even know what the smallest one is. I clearly haven't used them, but these are really great for lace projects, kind of like doilies or any type of filet crochet. And I can explain that more in future videos. And then yeah, this is just kind of like a ruler with different measurements, and I think these are for different hook sizes, but again, something I haven't used before. Then on the other side, I have my scrap yarn and any other kind of small tools that I need. I ordered these tags from AliExpress, and I use them every time that I finished a project. I'll just put a tag on them to show that they are handmade by me. They're really cute, and I have a set of needles as well that I can use to sew them. Some people use sewing machines, but I like to use needles because it just makes it even more handmade. This is for like those projects where you want to add a bit of stuffing. So these are my different crochet hooks. One that I use the most usually is either the 4mm hook or the 3mm hook. This is the one I use for most of my projects. This is the one I'm going to use to show you how to make all the different things today. So let's start with the basics. This is my yarn, and this is a blend with acrylic, a little bit of alpaca and cotton. I forgot the brand, but I'll find it and I'll link it in the description below. So you got your yarn and your hook. Just gonna unravel it. The first thing I'm gonna do is show you how to make a slip knot, which will be the base of almost all of your projects. So to make a slip knot, you take your loose end of the yarn, and then I'll show you how to do it. The way I do it is I wrap it around my finger like this. So you almost have like a loop. Yes, you have a loop. And then what you're going to do when you have that loop is pull the other end of your thread through it and then pull it tight. So this becomes your slip knot. And I'll show you that again one more time. So this is your loose end. This is the end that's still attached to the ball. Take it like this. Wrap it around your finger so that the threads are now on top of one another. go into the loop you've just made, and then pull through the yarn that's still attached to the ball through your loop, and then pull to tighten. This is your slip knot. Once we've made our slip knot, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make a chain. So you insert your hook into the slip knot and basically tighten it so that it's well and secure on there. And now I'll show you how to make a chain. So first of all, this is how I hold my yarn. So I want it wrapped around my index finger so that the other end, which is still attached to the ball, lies in my hands. This is how you would hold the yarn. And I keep my thumb like this. Okay, so I'll show you how to make a chain. So to make a chain, all you want to do, wrap the yarn around your hook. This is called yarning over. And then using the curved part of your hook, you want to pull that through the slip knot that you've made. So let me show you again. Grab your yarn, yarn over the hook, and then pull through your slip knot. That makes your first chain. I'll show you that again. So put the yarn over the loop and then pull it through the second loop. Now you can see that you have 1, 2 chains. That's your slip knot. So each time you make a chain, you'll always have 1 loop on your hook. Now I'm going to show you how to make a single crochet, but to do that I'm going to do a couple more chains and then I'll meet you again. I now have 9 chains on my hook, and now I'm going to show you how to make a single crochet. So to do this, we skip this chain and we work into this chain. This first chain basically acts as what we call a turning stitch, so that whenever you make a panel, it comes out with the edges looking straight. And I can show you that more as we go on. So skip this chain and insert your hook into this chain. So to do this, I will insert my hook as such. So now you can tell that I'm in this chain. And then the same way that you make a chain, you yarn over and then you pull through. For the single crochet, you'll have 2 loops on your hook. To finish this stitch, all you need to do is yarn over and pull through both these 2 loops. So yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2. This becomes your first single crochet. I'll do that again in this stitch. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2. Again, insert the stitch. Again, insert the hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2. This becomes 1, 2, 3 single crochets. I'm going to finish the rest of the row and you can do this along with me. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2. Insert the hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2. Insert the hook, yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2. Insert the hook, yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2. Now this is your slip knot, so I won't be counting it as a chain. This makes your first row of single crochets. These are the tops of your single crochet, and you can use these to count how many stitches you have in your row. So for this it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'm going to show you how to turn your work. And this is very simple. To do this, all you need to do is chain 1. So to chain 1, yarn over, pull through the loop, and that is your chain 1. Now you just flip your work, so now you're on the wrong side, so you can go back and begin your next row. We'll do another row of single crochets, and then I'll show you how to make the next stitch, which is a half double crochet. So let's go. So you'll skip this chain, you won't do anything with it, and you'll place your first single crochet in this stitch. And this is the top of the single crochet, and you basically want your hook to go underneath this. So insert your hook, and you'll see that the hook has gone through and the top of the stitch is lying on top of the hook. Now, similar to before, yarn over, pull through, and you can see that you're going to be placing this single crochet on top of the previous single crochet. So then again, yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2. You want to repeat this for the rest of the row. So again, insert your hook into the next stitch. Just double check that you've only done it on the top of the stitch. And then yarn over, pull through the stitch, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops on your hook. Okay, once you've completed your row, you can go back and count how many stitches you have just to make sure your stitch count is correct. For us, that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. I'm going to show you how to make a half double crochet on this row. When you're making a half double crochet for the next row, you can chain 1, turn your work, and then instead of inserting your hook directly into the stitch like we did for single crochet, you'll begin by yarning over first. So, like I said, yarn over, and then you skip the chain 1 and you place your next stitch into the second stitch from the hook. For a half double crochet, you take the yarn and insert it into the hook, like so. So as you can see, we will have 2 loops on our hook as we enter the first stitch. Okay, so part 2 for making a half double crochet, you yarn over again and you pull this yarn through the stitch. You will now have 3 loops on your hook. Similar to a single crochet, you will now yarn over and pull through all these loops on your hook. So again, yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2, pull through 3. That becomes your first half double crochet. Let's do that again in the next stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through the stitch, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook. And we're going to do this for the rest of the row. So stick with me. Now that we've finished our row, let's go back and count the stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that is your first row of half double crochet. As you can see, the half double crochets are a little bit taller than the single crochets. And now we're going to move on to making a double crochet. So to turn your work to make a double crochet, instead of chaining 1, you're going to chain 2. So yarn over, pull through the loop, that's 1 chain. Yarn over, pull through the loop, that's your 2nd chain. These 2 chains do not count as a stitch. Turn your work, and we'll begin from the first stitch. So you skip this stitch, skip the 2nd stitch, and work into the 3rd stitch from your hook. Making a double crochet is similar to a half double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook through the 1st stitch, yarn over, pull it through, and then before we would pull our yarn through all 3 stitches, but for a double crochet, you yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, and then you yarn over again and pull through the last 2 loops. This becomes a double crochet. So I'll show you that again. You yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull it through. You have your 3 loops, yarn over, pull through the first loop and the 2nd loop, and then yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops. That becomes your double crochet. And we'll do this for the rest of the round. And then that becomes your row of double crochets. And you can see that it's just a tiny bit taller than the half double crochet row that we made. So this is your single crochet row, your 2nd single crochet row, your half double crochet row, and your double crochet row. And I think you know what the next row is going to be. Yep, you guessed it. The next row is a treble crochet. So to turn your work for a treble crochet, you're going to chain 3. Chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. These 3 chains do not act as a stitch. Turn your work, and then we'll be working into the 1st stitch from the previous row. So you skip 1, skip 2, skip 3. Now a treble crochet is different from a half double and a double crochet because you wrap the yarn around your hook twice. So let me show you how that works. Yarn over once, yarn over twice. So you can see you already start with 3 loops on your hook. Let me show you that again. Yarn over once, yarn over twice. And then we're going to take these loops and insert them into the 1st stitch, which is actually the 4th stitch from the hook. So this is your 1st stitch. You've got your 3 loops on this side, and you're going to yarn over again. Yarn over, pull through the 1st stitch. You should have 4 loops on your hook. Then you'll yarn over again to begin the treble crochet. Once you've yarned over, pull it through the first 2 loops on your hook. 1 and 2. Again, yarn over, pull this through the next 2 loops. 1, 2. And then finally, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops on your hook. 1 and 2. This becomes your first treble crochet. Let's do that again. So yarn over once, yarn over twice. Insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull it through the stitch, yarn over, pull through loop 1, loop 2, yarn over, pull through loop 1, loop 2, yarn over, pull through loop 1, loop 2. And we'll do this for the rest of the row. And I'll go slowly so you can crochet along with me. Now that we've finished the row, we can go ahead and count our stitches. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that completes our treble crochet row. And I think you can judge the pattern that it starts from small and ends up getting taller and taller each time we wrap our yarn around the hook. These are the basic stitches you can use to crochet lots of different projects. And then to finish off, what you would do is chain 1, and then you can cut this, pull it through, and fasten off. So those are our basic stitches. I'm now going to show you how to make a granny square. You can make these in 2 ways. I'll show you the first way to make it, which is a little bit easier if you don't know anything about magic circles. So to do this, you make your slip knot, like such, insert your hook, and then you're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And now what we're going to do is we're going to skip the first 3 stitches from your hook and insert your hook into this 4th stitch. And I'm going to show you what's called as a slip stitch. So to do this, we'll just insert our hook into the 4th stitch, yarn over, and pull through the 4th stitch and the 1st stitch. As you can see, this kind of forms a little circle, and it's hard to see, but there is a little space right in the center. This is where we're going to start placing your stitches to make a granny square. To begin, you want to chain 3. We're going to be working this granny square in double crochets. If you're still confused on how to make a double crochet, you can just skip back to the section on how to make a double crochet. But if you're not, then let's go ahead. So to begin, chain 1, 2, and then yarn over, and then find this little center in the middle and insert your hook into there. So find the center, insert your hook, and begin double crocheting as normal. So yarn over, pull the loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. We're going to do that again 3 times into the same center. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, 2nd double crochet. Now we'll make the 3rd, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So as you can see, you now have 3 double crochets. The chain 2 at the start does not count as a stitch. This becomes one cluster of your granny square. You want to make 4 to make a square shape. To make the next cluster, you want to first make a chain 3 corner. What that means is that you just chain 3. So chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. This becomes our first corner. Now we're going to make another 3 double crochets in that same space. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1 and 2, yarn over, pull through 1 and 2. As you can see, this kind of becomes a little bit of a corner, and this will help make your granny square. So we're going to make 2 more double crochets. Now we're going to make another corner. So chain 3. Continue the pattern, so make another 3 double crochets in the center. Make another corner. 1, 2, 3. Make 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Now make another corner to close your square. So chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. And what you're going to do is find the first stitch that you made, the first double crochet, and slip stitch into the top. So to do this, you just insert your hook into the first chain as such, yarn over, pull it through the first stitch, and then pull it through your chain to close the square. So as you can see, this becomes the base of your square. Now I'll show you how to keep going and make the square bigger. To start the second row of your granny square, essentially what you want to do is make little clusters in each of the 4 spaces that you've made. And to do this, we need to slip stitch across to this first cluster. So you've already made your first slip stitch in the first stitch. What you do, go into your second stitch, yarn over, pull it through, and then pull it through again. Do the same with your third stitch, yarn over, pull through, pull through. This yarn's a little bit fiddly, so I need to do it again. Yarn, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2. Now you've made it to your first corner. What you'll do is insert one last slip stitch into the corner itself, so not into any stitch, but into the corner. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull it through, pull it through. Now you can see we've reached the corner. So what we'll do now is begin our first double crochet, but in order to start that, we need to chain 2. So 1, 2. These 2 do not count as a stitch. So for your double crochet, as per usual, yarn over, insert your hook into the corner space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Then we'll place our third double crochet into the same corner space. This becomes our first cluster, and we're going to place another corner. So with the granny square, you just keep having more clusters and more corners to make it bigger and bigger. So I'll show you how to do this here. You're just going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then place another 3 double crochets into this corner space. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, as the granny square grows, we make corners, but we also make chain spaces. So we're going to chain 3 so that we can reach the next corner to place our next cluster. So you've chained 3. Now you want to place 3 double crochets into this second corner. So this will be our first double crochet, our second double crochet, and our third double crochet. And just like the previous corner, we're going to make another 3 chains and then another 3 double crochets to make your second corner. So chain 3 and then place 3 double crochets into this corner. That becomes your second corner. And now we chain 3 again to reach the third corner, and then we repeat the same as we did here, and I'll meet you when you've done that. Okay, I'm now placing my last double crochet into the 4th corner of this granny square. So I've already yarned over, insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Then I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch of the round. Insert my hook, yarn over, pull it through, pull it through. And this completes our second row of the granny square. As you can see, the square is gradually growing bigger, and we've gone from just having corners to also having chain 3 spaces. Now I'm going to show you how to make the final round of the square. So to make the final round, similar to round 2, you slip stitch across until you reach your first corner. So for me, that's 1 slip stitch, 2 slip stitches, and 3 slip stitches. The third slip stitch will go into your corner. And then you're going to place 3 double crochets in here. So I'll do that now. Chain 1 and 2. This does not count as a double crochet or a stitch. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 3 double crochets. Then we'll chain 3. And then we'll place another 3 double crochets into this corner. By now you can kind of guess the pattern. So in each corner we'll have 3 double crochets, 3 chains, and 3 double crochets. So that becomes our first corner of the third row. Now, just like we did in the second row, we're going to do chain 3. In the previous chain 3 space, we're going to place 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to work our second corner, and I'll meet you when we're done with that. So to do that, first we're going to chain 3 and then place our 3 double crochets in here, our 3 chains, and then another 3 double crochets. So I'll meet you when I'm done. Okay, that becomes our second corner. So I'll show you one more time what to do in this chain 3 space, and then we can just continue the pattern as normal. So to do this, again, chain 3, and then place 3 double crochets in this chain 3 space from the previous row. So, like so. 1, 2, and 3. So the pattern remains the same. You're going to chain 3, place 3 double crochets in this corner, chain 3 again, place another 3 double crochets in this corner, then you're going to chain 3, place 3 double crochets in the chain 3 space. And you want to do that until you've reached the end of the row. So you'll end on a chain 3 and a slip stitch. So I'll meet you when that's done. Okay, I'm at the end of my row. I've done my chain 3, and I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch from the row. So I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. And then this completes round 3 of our granny square. So you can see it's a little bit floppy, which is okay because we're just practicing. But essentially what you want to do is just continue repeating the rows to make the square as big as you want, and the same principles apply. So hopefully that makes sense and you end up with something of a square shape. So yeah, this is how we make a granny square. This one's a very basic shape, and you can kind of make little things with it. Like you can make a little bag if you continue this pattern, or you can make lots of little granny squares and stitch them together. And I can go through that more in future videos. There is loads of different types of granny squares, and this is just one basic example. And if you're interested in learning how to make more, just leave a comment below and I can show you how to make lots of different squares. There's also lots of different patterns you can find on Pinterest and lots of different graphs that show you how to make granny squares. And if there's anything that you particularly like, you can send me a DM on Instagram and I can try and focus a video on how to make those as well. Hopefully that all made sense. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments below. You can also reach me on Instagram. I'm at Alina Crochets, or you can send me an email at alinacrochets@gmail.com and I'll answer any questions that you have about this tutorial. I also have a bunch of patterns that I've just released called the Capricorn collection, and you can buy those on my Etsy or on my Ko-Fi, and I'll link them in the description as well. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will never get used to saying that. See you all in the next video. Bye! Damn it. What kind of YouTuber am I? Okay, I'm showing you some basic crochet. Damn it.